They need the white flag. What's going to happen? It's about to get interesting. Green again. 93 to the inside. This is about to shake up here. Bring up the draft. 81 to the inside of the 93. Will he pull the 51 here on the outstretch? He's going to... And of course, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to you all out there. Good to see you guys tuning in here for the Cars Series Championship Auto Racing Series for the National Motorsports Simulation Association right here on Signature Esports. Anthony Edrington out there. I know you're going to be driving. You're in the number 32. I do have your paint scheme. It is loaded up. Looks pretty darn phenomenal, my friend. Good to see you in there. Racing as well. Haley, good to see you out there. That is Woolie's daughter. Those who know, part of the Signature Esports platform and Real Racing Online. A whole lot of fun to be had here. Charlotte, the track again. And, of course, he's back, folks. He is back. The man himself, Mr. George Williams. George, how you doing out there, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Jason. Thanks so much for having me back. I want to give a shout out to a fellow racer, Richard Swavely, who jumped in here and did an amazing job with you last week. Love listening to him and you talk. Tons of insight from an incredible driver there. And just happy to be back here calling the cars at beautiful Charlotte Speedway in North Carolina. Looking forward to a great race.
Well, it is a fantastic racetrack. I said it yesterday. It's one of my favorite tracks. Race information for you here. We're going to run 160 laps at the famed mile-and-a-half track. Charlotte Motor Speedway, of course, had a retouch back in about 2014 is when they redid the track, and a whole lot of changes. 72-degree air temperature, 76% humidity, partly cloudy sky is going to play a factor with the wind here. The wind on the backstretch definitely you're going to feel it as the tires start to wear. Track temperature, it's very cool, 76 degrees here in Concord. I will tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun. Starting grid, of course, brought to you by Omega Leaf CBD. Go to OmegaLeafCBD.com. Use promo code CARS25, C-A-R-S, number 2, the number 5, for a 25% discount at checkout. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter as well. Lots of great information about Omega Leaf CBD. Nick Gardner, the number 16, is going to be your pole sitter tonight with Ben Hurst on the outside. They're in row number 2. Michael Sturgill in the 97 is going to be driving that two-tone Full Throttle Motorsports Chevy there on the inside lane, row number 2, with Wesley Burchett on the outside. The number 76 had a good race last night. Unfortunate circumstances for some of the drivers in the trucks. A couple of cautions last night, kind of unexpected, but at the same time, I think tonight's race might be fast and furious. Of course, Ray Rogers and Chris McLean there in row number 3. Rich Swavely, Chris Johnson, row number 4. Joseph Mahar and Gene Wolfe, row number 5. And Brad Williams, Anthony Mossbasher, those guys going to be there in row number 6.
Absolutely. As we move on, we've got Daniel Holdcroft in the 31. He's going to be starting on the inside of row number 7. And we've got Vernon Burrow going to be starting on the outside in the 22 car. We've got David Harden. He's going to be in that 15th spot in the 33. We got Phil Locke running in 16th position on the outside of row 8 in the number 1 car. David Moore in the 28 will be inside of Brad Fulham in the 19, running for the Four Horsemen team. And you've got Brad Lee in the number 9, running on the inside of row 10. Josh Peterson to his outside in the number 2. And you got the number 32 of Tony Edrington of Wolf Racing on the inside of Dylan Hastings of Race Pass Motorsports. It's going to be rounding out your field, and a shout out to our race control up in the tower there, James Kunkel.
Mr. Conkle, in the grand scheme of things, are going to pace around another lap here as we look through the field and set up some new cameras for Charlotte. And I think they look pretty darn good. At least in my opinion, they look pretty darn good. I don't know. You guys tell me. The Nick Gardner in the number 16, he's going to be leading them around here. That's going to be hot and heavy. George, you got the George Williams report. You tell me about that, buddy.
Yeah, looking at 160 total laps around here with stage breaks are pretty even split here. We're gonna be at the end of stage 1 will be lap 40, then we're gonna be stage 2 at lap 80, then we're gonna be the second half of the race, hopefully green flag all the way to the end with just under 80 laps to get us to 160. 4 total sets of tires, meaning that technically they're gonna average about 40 laps per set, depending on if they try and double stint for a late set for a late run hopefully, but fuel window as always is just a little bit short of being able to make it to the stage. It's borderline between 1 caution and 2 caution that would get you there. I think we're probably going to see some green flag stops even in the stages here.
Alrighty, they're going to come around. Don't mind that lap up there, that lap 2. That's not really as happening. It'll reset in just a second. They throw an extra caution so we can get out here and have a little bit of fun. Sun is setting here at Charlotte. Nighttime is the right time for fast-paced racing. And the pace car is going to dip off here in turn number 4. We're going to be taking a look at Fred, the Barney Flagman up there at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You see the restart zone right there on the front tri-oval. And it gets hot and heavy from right about here where the green flag's going to wave. There's the Pythons giving it a go. Green, green, green into the turn.
Impressive how Ben Horst got right there with Nick Gardner on that jump. He did not get any space to Nick Gardner there. That was very impressive how he stayed right with him on that green flag.
He did such a good job. He moved himself into the lead, and now Ben Hurst moving to groom. Haley, everything is good over here. Mr. Austin Harzer, my Maximum Sports Cars guy. He is absolutely watching, cheering on Mr. Mahar. Hurst gets around, and he's going to start clearing some way. The 97 having a little trouble with the 16 there. He got a little bit loose on the first turn of the racetrack.
Yeah, these cars, especially the first 5 or 6 laps, there's definitely plenty of steering, and that back end can break loose on you real easy. Throttle control in these corners is a little bit trickier tonight than it was last night in the trucks. Doesn't really matter what line you pick, you're going to have to lift a little bit.
Ben Hurst is going to be leading here as they come around the 8 coming off pit road. Looks like Hastings chose to start from the pits, and he's going to be coming around as things start to get squared away and under control. Peterson there, he's going to be in the mix as well. Highline running, that's going to be the preferred line as they get ready to rock and roll. Ben Hurst runs the fastest lap, 30.32.
Absolutely. Looks like he's trying to pull a little bit of a gap here. He's got about, 3.5 seconds up on Nick Gardner already. Ben Hurst filling in that 70, took over that spot from Jonathan Bell, who's not able to run with us on Wednesday nights anymore. The 70, it doesn't seem to matter who's in it, but it's been fast.
Fast is the racetrack 97 teammate in third. Chris McLean trying to make a move to the inside of the 76 here. This is the battle for fourth as the 76 and the 42, kind of a little bit of it's very we talked about it last night, very hard to pass in the tri-oval area because it's basically 2 dog legs to the left, and they're very sharp, very sharp. 42 running 76.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm seeing these guys as they're coming into 2, coming out of 1, coming into 2. That rear end is just kind of sliding around. It almost looks like they're dirt track racing. And you can see kind of when the car straightens up and they have to correct it. I imagine you see a little action on the steering wheel next time we get into the cockpit of one of them. They're definitely going to be working that thing.
5 down to the grass to the inside of the 74 Moss Basher, trying to make that send Toyota Camry. Last time by, he gets around Chris Johnson pretty easily there. The 5 moving 74 IJD Racing teammate to 2 of the top 5 drivers. They are holding on to it. Inside the top 5, here's the Toyota. Here's the 42, Chris McLean. Other than that, 4 Chevys. Rich Swavely Here's the 38. He is moving and grooving into that Toyota. He is behind him. Toyota's trying to strike the field. Ray Rogers in 8th, Anthony Mossbasher in 9th. The rest of them, which all said, I got about a pretty even field today from Chevy to Toyotas. And that's unusual.
Yeah, we got Chevys in the top 3, but we've got a mixture. More Toyotas here in the Xfinity series than we have in the trucks. Definitely more Toyotas as a percentage of the field than you see most of the time.
Well, and another thing that I've noticed, there's no Fords. Not one single Mustang out here running in the field, and that is surprising. Tony Edmonton, we were talking about him yesterday. He was in the field. Here's his new paint scheme. Here's the 32. He was trying to make sure that his number was showing up. SBC number 32 running there.
Absolutely. Looking back a little bit, it looks like Ray Rogers is making some moves. He was able to get around my Race Pass Motorsports teammate Joseph Mahar, who finished in 3rd last night in the trucks, pretty easily, and it looks like he's getting ready to put another pass on. The 51 of Rogers seems to be able to make that bottom line work a little bit better than some of these other drivers right now. He's got it figured out.
Inside the cockpit view, here is Ray Rogers steering wheel. Here, the feather in the throttle as he comes around. Kind of almost having to come down and touch that red area, which is not an off track, but that grass right there makes it super slippery. He slides in front of the 76 right there, and you hear how out of the throttle he is into turn 1 and turn 2, trying to make up some ground.
Yeah, impressive. I haven't seen anybody make as much headway as quickly on that bottom line as what Rogers has been able to do the last couple of laps. It's been interesting to watch.
Looks like everybody's trying to play it safe, and Rogers like, I'm here to win.
76 gets into the wall a little bit, and the 85 to the bumper gives him a little room, and he gets back up to pace here. It looks like the 85 is going to dip down under him right behind Ray Rogers. You can kind of see it in his rear view mirror there.
About an almost 3 wide into turn 1 from the 1697 to the 42. 16 was catching the 70 there for a little bit, and now as they've kind of run that midline, that's where these cars are really good at, is right there in the midline. You can hold that throttle just a little bit longer getting into the corner. You don't have to lift as much to get that car to turn at the bottom. And now they're back-to-pack racing. 42 to the inside of the 97. The battle for 3rd now is on as the 42 is going to try to clear the 97. Highline speed is going to be a little bit faster out of 2. 97 is going to clear.
And that, what you just saw there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's kind of what I've tended to see when a car goes down to the inside. They can't make the headway, especially on the exit of the corner, and they just can't clear it. And that's why it was so shocking to see Ray Rogers in a lap and a half pick up 3 spots running that low line like that. Was impressive.
Ray Rogers up to 5th now as he's moving through. He's gotten around quite a few drivers. He just went around Rich Slavely. So inside the top 5, Ray Rogers trying to stick it to the man and run it all the way to the front. He is, as those guys in front of him, Chris McLean there to the inside of the 97, as these guys battle it out here, the more that they work each other, the easier it is that the 51's going to start catching it. Last time by, Ray Rogers ran a 31.16. The rest of the field, 31.7 and better. 42's moving up the line. There he goes. Man, he got around the 90. It took a little bit of a few laps right there, but he finally gets around him.
Yeah, and like you said, he did it on the inside line, and Ray Rogers has been doing that effectively for several laps, and it looks like he's going to keep trying as he's moving down to the inside line. Oh, we've got the 42 in the infield there, 3 wide, coming around, exiting the tri-oval.
Back to 2x2 into turn 1. 42 had to dodge the 16. 16 tapped the wall a little bit right there. That right side damage, always a big factor. Toyota seeming to be able to run the bottom line as the Chevys having to stick to the high line. Hurst, though, he's 1.2, almost 1.3 seconds away as the 97 and the 42 battle out for second.
Yeah, Hurst is kind of checked out there. He's got time to flip through the CDs and decide what to put on the radio and maybe change stations if he wants to, listen to some bluegrass if he needs. He's making it look easy out there, but like we've said before, it may look easy to us, but I guarantee you he's working that thing. That's why he's going so fast.
These Xfinity cars, some of the toughest to drive in the iRacing circuit. Lane's starting to pull some speed on Ben Hurst this time by. They are so loose in every sense of the fact. They call it being tight when it comes to getting into the corner, and then your throttle control puts you loose, so the tires really play a big factor. 42 up next to the wall. 51 trying to go around the 42. He's going to have it almost clear. 42 is going to carry speed to the backstretch, and now the 51 is going to check out. Pick over second.
I'm expecting the 51 to kind of close the gap a little bit on the 70 here. I've been incredibly impressed the last 5 laps with what the 51 of Ray Rogers has been doing. It has been, I've just not ever seen anybody on this track run that low line faster than everybody else running the high line. Just looks like he's on new tires and they're on old tires. It's incredible.
Last time by 31.69 for Ray Rogers, 31.95 for Ben Hurst. Ben Hurst out leading 0.8 of a second. Now he's going to have to change his line, change his adjustment. He's going to have to do something here because Rogers is flying.
Yes, he certainly is. And I mean, you see he's already closed the gap. I mean, Ray Rogers is just flat out getting it right now.
0.4 of a second faster. Rogers started 4th, fell back to 10th, and then worked his way back to the front. Right now, the combined I rating in the top 5, just about 20,000. There's a lot of skill there. Lowest I rating, Rich Swavely, 23.59 inside the top 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having that lowest I rating in that group.
Yeah, you and me both.
I think maybe our combined I rating might be around there.
Yeah, Talladega has not been kind to me. Talladega has not been kind. 70 to the outside, 51, still trying to find the low line speed, and now the 70 is going to be in. He's going to be looking down the back mirror and going, "Hey, how in the world did he get back so fast?" Last time by 0.3 of a second, 51 still hugging that line. I think it's his lift point. His tire wear is the same as everybody else. His laps are falling off about the same as everybody else as far as the 51 goes. And the fastest lap of the race is ran by your race leader. But right now, Ray Rogers, his lift point into the corner is almost perfect.
It's certainly everything he's doing is perfect. As we're halfway through this first stage, I'll be honest. If I'm the 70, with what the 51 has done behind me, I would say with his skill set, it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of let that 51 go and tuck him behind him and see what he's doing. Because whatever it is, it's right.
That time by Ray Rogers trying to get to the inside of the 70. 70 trying to utilize it. There's that very big lift point. Feather, 70 there inside 51 trying to make it work. 70 still has that speed on the high line. And you're going to start seeing, once the tires fall off for the 51, is now the 51 is going to try to make that pass to the inside here. Might make this stick here. 70 to the outside, side by side to the lead. Rogers going to lead this lap. He is. Not by much.
It looks like we may have another move being made by the 38 back, just got around the 97 there for a spot, I believe. May still be working on it, but I think the 97 just got passed by Richard Swavely in the 38 as well.
Swavely running fast. There's another Toyota in the mix. Inside the top 5 now, they've kind of swapped positions. 3 Toyotas and 2 Chevys, Michael Sturgill and Ben Hurst. Ben Hurst back second now. He's kind of fall in line with the 51. 51 last time by 32.04, 32.11 for Ben Hurst. They come down to the backstretch. Lap traffic about to be a factor here.
Now we've got some cars coming into the pits, taking that splash and go early, especially as they're getting ready to get lapped. Sometimes when you know you're going to have to take that splash and go and you've got the leaders coming up on you versus trying to stay out of the way, sometimes it's easier to just go ahead and take that splash and go now and not worry about getting out of the way of the leaders. I speak from experience, being a guy that's worried about getting lapped more often than not.
Bradley right now, the number 9, he's your biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots to 12. He started 19. I think we'll have to see how this is going to play out. Ray Rogers starting to pull away now as he runs that bottom line. 31.91 last time by. 0.2 of a second better than Ben Hurst. Ray, I tell you what, Ray is He's digging this racetrack, I guarantee it.
Yeah, he's doing wonderful. It looks like we've got kind of the top five are all within a similar pace of each other, and then it kind of falls off, and we've got 6th, 7th, 8th, all kind of bunched up there, and then there's another big. Yeah, one down on the infield, comes back up. Oh,
Hero, he went off track on the backstretch right here, slides up the track, everybody kind of moving and grooving. I think he was trying to get back into the groove, and he was the guy on the bottom there. No caution. Man.
Incredible that everybody was able to stay out of the line there and was able to keep from tying up the Fred the Flagman, putting him to work with a yellow flag there. It was nice to see they kept that green.
Anthony Mossbash, your first car 1 lap down right now. Came to pit. He hasn't come to pit road yet, so he's a natural lap down. Going to work his way to it. Ben Hurst in on pit road this time by. He's got the 97. I think they are going to be trying to get themselves a little pit advantage, a short pit ahead of the 51, who is just running fast. 42 McLean's trying to catch that speed. He's 3 seconds off. But last time by 32.56 for McLean. So Ray Rogers coming to pit road this time.
Yeah, and I think Swavely wasn't very far off the pace of Rogers there the last couple laps, as he was kind of closing in the top 5 there as well. So looks like they're both going to be pitting on the same lap here. I think Swavely's wanting to get out there behind Rogers and see if he can keep up with him.
Get Beasley out there on Facebook says, "Let's go Mahar, good racing guys." Joseph Mahar in second right now. We'll have to come to pit road here pretty soon. Last time by 32.30. Faster than the race leader, Chris McLean at the moment. Lane to pit road this time by. Mahar is going to lead 29 of 160. Lap 30 underway.
So as we come across with the leaders this time, we're going to be looking at 10 more laps in the stage. I've got to assume most everybody is going to pit under that stage caution. As Mahar is having a little trouble getting around the 9 is a little loose in front of him, and or I believe that was the 9.
Oh, it's Mossbacher, the 10th place car. Yeah, number 5 right there. He's a little damaged.
And but I'm going to assume that pretty much all of these cars are going to come in at the stage break and go ahead and put fresh rubber on it after they felt out this first run.
Mahar up to speed. Ray Rogers, the first car off the lead lap. He's going to be there in 8th place. 31 seconds is the gap that Rogers has to make up to get back out front, but that will be changing. Nick Gardner in second. He's yet to come to pit road. Right now, the top 5 need to come to pit road. Woo, the 5 almost getting into the 16 there on pit road. Mahar, he's coming around to lead another lap. Oldcroft is there. Well, 4
absolutely
seconds,
good.
man. 4 seconds. That's a long way to look at Charlotte.
Yes, it is, but yeah, I've got to say Mahar ran this track fantastic last night. You saw it and you called it out on the broadcast. I heard it over and over again. He was just consistently running his line. He didn't do anything special. He didn't do anything exciting. He just consistently ran his line. Took tires when it was time to take tires at the even points. Didn't play any strategy. Just was out there running his line and got him a top 3 finish. I think he's looking to do the same thing.
Oh, Rich Swavely, it's going to come down to pace here. Rich Swavely, he is trying to track down the 51 of Ray Rogers. He's first car 1 lap down behind the race leader right there. And you know that when Mahar comes to pit road to take his fuel here, Swavely goes around to get a lap back. He's gonna enjoy having that extra little,
Absolutely, and I gotta imagine you're gonna see Mahar come to pit road here in the next lap. At most 2 more laps, so I'm assuming we're probably gonna see that this coming lap from him. We'll probably see most of those top 4 go ahead and come on in.
He does. He locks it down, gets in on pit road, gets down to speed, does a great job. Brad Lee's going to come into pit road as well. Mr. Fulham right there next to him. Woo, side by side in there. Holdcroft. Now Rogers going to come around turn 2, and he's going to have roughly about 2 seconds, 3 seconds over Rich Swavely. It was just as fast, if not faster, last time by. 32.19 for Ray Rogers in the last lap, 32.23. So about 4/100ths of a second difference between the two drivers.
And I'm looking back. It looks like the 70 of Horst has fallen a little bit back. Not sure if maybe decided to play a tire game and not is going to conserve and maybe not take tires when everybody else does at the stage and is conserving, or if something else happened. But the 70 seems to have fallen off pace here a little bit after this fuel stops.
Ben Hurst took tires on his pit stop. Everybody else took a full fuel stop except for Joe Mahar, Nick Gardner. Those guys only took a splash and go to hold their position. But Ray Rogers had enough time. He was like, fill it up. Just fill it up. It's good. I got this.
Yeah, he's looking good, and Swavely's trying to close the gap, but still almost 3 seconds space for Ray Rogers there up front.
We're about 4 laps to go once they cross the stripe this time by. Ray Rogers 2.7 seconds out over Swavely, and lap 37 underway before the stage end. They've got to complete lap 40, and that will end the stage. Ben Hurst last time by ran another fast lap, 31.69, getting around some lap traffic, picking up 3rd place, leading the points. So he's got a couple of seconds to make up. He can do that on new tires. I mean, he's running almost a half second, if not a full second better than Swavely in front of him. So we'll see if that's going to play a factor here as they come around to make it 3 to go before the end of the stage.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to get Swavely, but there's obviously too big of a gap there to get up to Rogers. Just not enough time.
I think he's figuring out that bottom line, though. It kind of makes me wonder if Rogers is running a stronger steering ratio down to the bottom and just having that lift point. It's just finding those natural aspirated lines to be able to get to it. Ray Rogers, 3.3 seconds. Hurst catching Swavely pretty easily. He's going to take second without much issue here. Ray Rogers down to the bottom. He's going to go around the 28.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been watching Rogers even when he's not passing people. He's still using that inside line, like you said, that lift point and getting low and holding it, and he's making it work. It's definitely no question about it. And like you said, it looked like Ben Hurst had kind of decided to give that a go too after he rode around behind Rogers for a couple laps.
Ben Hurst, when he comes to pit road, will not have to take tires. And if he wanted to, he could stay out. He'd force a lot of drivers to be a lap down. Ray Rogers looking at turn 3, turn 4. Going to come around and he's decisively going to win stage 1 by 2.25 seconds here. Hurst if he had about 3 or 4 more laps, he would have taken the stage. Stage 1 winner Rogers, and Hurst, Swavely, McLean, Sturgill, Mahar, Williams, Gardner, Locke, and Lee. That's going to be the top 10 through the field. 18 seconds the difference between 10th and 1st after that stage.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got 13 still currently on the lead lap. And I'm wondering if all the rest of those folks that are lap down are going to try and stay out and get that wave around when the leaders pit. But like you said, the 70 doesn't necessarily have to pit, so he could ruin the wave around dreams of a lot of these drivers.
Stage 1 winner. Ray Rogers here as he meets the pace car. Number 51 driving the inside line, fast around this track. His best lap time 30.48. Still doesn't best the lap of Ben Hurst, but see how it goes. 51's going to come in. 28's going to be your lucky dog, I do believe. He's going to be the first car off the lead lap here. David Moore there.
It was a great first stage. No caution flags. We had one little incident with a lapped car that ended up avoiding bringing out the caution as everyone stayed out of the way of that car and worked out all right and stayed green for all 40 laps.
Oh, the 70 is going to come to pit road, so David Moore is going to be looking for the lucky dog here. He's going to get it. Everybody else, Chris Johnson, Josh Peterson, David Harden, Tony Edrington, Dylan Hastings, Anthony Smasher, all those guys looking for a free pass here. As quite possibly, we'll see. They have to wait until the second lap of the pit. As you see, the 32 from Lemoy, he's going to be your lucky dog here.
And it looks like the 70, not taking tires like you said, is going to be the first car out. Just had to get fuel, so it looked like he may have let him out of the pits there, followed by the 97 and the 94.
Michael Sturgill, one of the bigger movers out of that one right there. He was back there in 6th or 7th place. Ray Rogers back to 4th. Brad Williams, he's up 8 spots here. But he's still not the biggest mover of the race. Biggest mover of the race, still Brad Lee, the number 9, as he comes off pit road here. 10 spots, man. 10 spots. Started 19th and 9th.
Moving and grooving. Making it happen.
Well, there it is. Cleaner race so far. We got through the green flag pit cycles and the stage break. Let's see what's going to happen now that Sturgill has. I think. Let's see. Sturgill, did he take tires? Did Williams take tires? I don't know if any of them took tires. They may have held on to it. Hurst is going to be there. He's going to be the guy that's going to have to get the jump and make Rogers work for it. Force Rogers to drive the outside line around him. I think that might be where the tire wear is coming into play here. As you see the 70 lead the field around right there. The 70 and the 97 IJD Racing team. Tune time 97 behind. And the 94 Brad Williams. He's enjoy that drive. Enjoy that view. Be there in 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Chris McLean has worked his way back up into 6th, and Joseph Mahar in 7th. Bradley. I look for those guys all to be battling it out as we get restarted here. All on fresh tires again. They were all competitive with each other at the start of the race. They've learned some things about what lines they like and what lines they don't, what it was like on fresh tires, and I think you're going to see a good battle once we get this restart going between those cars back for 6th, 7th, 8th place. Really expect a lot of movement there.
Well, I think that in the grand scheme of things, how could you ask for any more? These guys are having a little bit of fun, that's for darn sure. Remember to get out there and like all of the sponsors for the National Motorsport Simulation Association. Of course, the Omega Leaf CBD. Go to OmegaLeafCBD.com. Cars 25 all season long for a nice little 25% discount. Going to have some fun with that. And of course, make sure that you give the National Motorsport Simulation Association a like and follow on all the platforms out there. I'd appreciate you if you did that. On top of that, Signature Esports on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Become a follower, subscribe on Twitch if you'd like. Hit the notification bells for all of the platforms so that way you know whenever I go live. Tonight, after we get done here, I'm going to take a small little break, and then I'm going to run a Phasmophobia marathon. We're going to get back into some gaming and help everybody know what we do here. Rocket League tournaments coming up. Tomorrow Night Trucks back at it again with the Signature E-NASCAR Phil Heb Series. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. They're going to be running... Where are they? Oh, they're running Kentucky tomorrow. Xfinity Series on Friday. Cup Series on Saturday. We are just grooving. A whole lot of fun.
Well, huge development here, in my opinion. We just had Rogers, Swavely, Locke, McLean all come into pits with 2 to go to top off fuel. So they obviously are banking, based on what they saw from that last run, that they can make it to the second stage if they went in and topped off just here right before we come back to the green. All of them gave up track position, went to the back of the line to be able to take fuel.
They took tires that last time. Mike Sturgill, MJ's dad out there. That's the 97's Papa. He is out there. He says, go Sturgill, but this strategy drives you nuts. I understand. Fastest on the long run is Rogers. I'm curious to see how this is going to work.
It's interesting. He definitely was banking. I mean, there's no reason he goes back in there unless he believes that keeps him from coming in to the next stage. I can't imagine he goes back in to top off there for any other reason.
Swavely right behind him, 70 out front by 0.8 of a second over Sturgill here. I think the 70 has figured something out too, because he is starting to run that low line. The 97 there. Now the colder track temperatures are going to play a big factor on that low line. But that tire wear is going to grip on, it's going to fall off. 85 using that mid-high line right now. We talked about consistent lines, consistent drives. That guy up 7 spots, Holdcroft, he's there to the outside. He's driving the 31. Up 9 spots, trying to track down the 97 here. Millie, 97, big checkup right there. Ooh. Allows 2 cars to get around. Burchett going down to the bottom. He's going to be inside the 31, turn 4, moving and grooving, side-by-side racing. Chevy's battling it out all up front. Brad Lee's first Toyota in the mix. Here's the number 9 moving up to 7th. He's up 12 spots. What a drive for that guy.
Absolutely. I'm watching Joe Mahar here on this high line behind Hurst, and on fresh tires, it doesn't look like Hurst is able to make any headway on Mahar when Hurst is down that low line. It looks like Mahar may be a little bit faster on that mid-high line. So maybe that line doesn't work as well with new tires. I'm not sure if Hurst hadn't quite figured it out like Rogers did, or if Mahar's just doing that good a job on fresh tires in that midline. The 76 and Burchett is coming up hot on Mahar as well.
Well, the 76 inside the draft to the inside of the 70, trying to go to the outside is the 85. 85 is going to have this clear. 70 just not able to keep up on the low line. Last time by, though, he did run a 31.28, so he's not doing too bad on that low line. He just needs to figure out how to drive that line in the long run, because that's going to be a big factor when it comes to trying to battle it out with the 51 later on, as I assume that Rogers will be trying to make it work. Ray Rogers there, he's going to be with the one. There's Phil Locke in the one on a very high line. 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Backstretch, 16 falls into place, 51 down to the bottom. He's going to stick it real low. 38 there, moving.
Absolutely, and the 51's coming up on a slow car in the 94, and the 94 gets up for the way and makes room for him to come around.
He's checking out right there. 3 Toyotas, Dave Moore, Phil Locke, Ray Rogers. Now 4 Toyotas, Rich Swavely trying to utilize that same line as the 51. Trying to work their way through the field. Wesley Burchett out front. He just took the lead over from Mahar on the last lap. Apologies about the lead change. Didn't see it until just a second ago. And he's all in tail. 30.87 over Joseph Mahar's 31.32. This time by 39.8. Mahar 31.17, so just a little bit different track position, track strategy. Mahar's going to have to figure what he's going to do here, as right now the 70's still keeping pace.
The 70 continues to run that low line. He believes in it, obviously. Got past now. I believe we kind of decided the 70 was on about 12 lap older tires than these other cars, because took that first set there on that first pit stop at about lap 30. So I think that probably a little bit older tires for the 70, but believes in that low line after what he saw Ray Rogers do, and is going to keep running it as trying to extend these tires out a little bit longer.
We go just low line, high line, lift point, find where he needs to be. He just needs to run the speeds faster than Ray Rogers right now, and Ray Rogers closing the distance just a little bit, 3.8 seconds off of Ben Hurst, and that is closing. But Ray Rogers also on newer tires, so that is going to make a big relative here. But Burchett is pulling away from the field, and he's using that high line.
He sure is, and Burchett has looked good the last several weeks in both the truck series and the car series. Has really hadn't had great starting positions in several races, but has worked his way up. Has had good, solid stage finishes. Has had some bad luck in a few places, but has really shown that he has the ability to run with these guys. You know, he's not going to be intimidated by their 5,000 I ratings. He's going to be out there with his 1,700 I rating, and he's going to push the limits just like he is today, looking really sharp up front.
Inside the cockpit view of Wesley Burchett, you see him. You see a little black line on the track when he's into the corners. That's the groove track. That separates the upper half from the lower half, and he's got that left tire into turn one right there and moves all the way up the track. He kind of exit out of turn one, or out of turn two, but in turn three, he is solid on that black line coming out and straight drive out. Only has to lift very slightly. We go back to we talk about Ray Rogers and what Ray's doing. Here's Ray's lifting point when he gets into the corner. He's in the draft right here, which he's going to have to lift a little earlier than the rest of the drivers. How long he's out of the gas here. Feathers in, uses the line to turn the car, and then comes out of the track behind the two right here. Watch again, lift. Turns it down, you hear the tires, uses the line to turn the car. That's the secret to it. Low line running here in Charlotte. And not quite the horsepower, the RPMs that you hear from Wesley Burchett. He comes out of the turns and is already creeping up on 8,000 RPM.
Yes, it's gonna be interesting to see if that line continues to be as effective as the track temperature cools and it gets darker and cooler here. It'll be interesting to see if that low line continues to be as effective, because it looks like the high line is just more effective right now, at least the way that the 76 and the 85 and the 31 are running it.
Well, Ray Rogers utilizing that low line strategy to get around some drivers. He's knocked off some time here as they come around. 20 laps to go as the 76 comes to the stripe this time. It'll be 20 laps to go for the stage break. And Ray Rogers 5.6 seconds off. He was about 7 seconds. So over the last 15 laps of driving after the stage cautions. It's taken him a little bit of time, but he's definitely started working. He's inside the top 5. Wesley Burchett will have to come to pit road for fuel if he doesn't save 51 up to 5th.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't imagine the 76 is going to have any chance of getting the 76 or the 85 with as much open air running as they've done and running the high line. I don't see them making it on fuel. I could be wrong, but I can't imagine they will. But that's one of the things with Rogers. He's been in the draft. He topped off late. He's running the low line. All of the things that give you that little bit of that extra lap of fuel, he's doing. So, we anticipate him and Swavely both making it.
Well, as it stands, 31.69 was their last lap times. They were almost neck and neck, the 51 and the 38. And they're catching up to Ben Hurst in the 70. He's on 12 lap older tires, and all that he needs to do is just hold on.
We might look at the time difference. It looks like the last couple laps, Joseph Mahar has been running 0.2 or so faster than Burchett. I don't know if he's closing that gap as much as it looks like on my relative, but it looks like he's been running 0.2 or so faster the last couple laps than Wesley Burchett has.
I think Wesley might be lifting. Just listening to what he's doing with his engine, it sounds like he's lifting and he's clutching out. So he might actually be trying to save fuel to stretch it that extra lap or two.
His fuel calculator is saying, dude, we've got it, Houston, we have a problem. Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking that's what I'm hearing here, because he went from running, and he's got no damage on his car, so he's looking smooth there. Last 5 laps, we'll take a look at here. He went from 31.8, and he lifted. You know, he lifted. He was from 61 to 64. He's about 0.4 of a second off. He's lifting. He's got to be.
What about the relative compared to where Joe Mahar's at? Has he been consistently 2/10 faster?
Yeah.
Like it looked to me?
Yeah. Well, from
right, yeah.
Yeah, it gained about a second over the last 5 laps. This time by, Mahar's going to be right there. I think 76, if he's smart, yeah, he's lifting. He's got to be lifting. 0.3 of a second. 76 just trying to hold on to it there. Car might be falling away from him a little bit, but smart thing for 76 is get the draft of the 85. If you are curious about your fuel strategy, don't run him. Just get in the draft. Lift whenever you need to. Pass him whenever you know you can. Rogers 3.5 seconds now. That's the difference between the two.
It's going to be interesting. You know, the 76 up into the wall a little bit there, and that's gonna give Mahar a little bit of breathing room. And 76 will kind of be in the draft there, but he loses some of the advantage he could have had tucking right in behind. But he's going to close right here maybe and get back.
I think that looked worse than what it actually was. He's only got a touch. I mean, we're talking a touch of damage on the door. Hardly anything on the back quarter panel. His hood's fine. Spoiler looks straight. So I think that looked far worse than what it was. Yeah, he's still good to go. I think that lifting strategy was to make it so that he can save on fuel. Right now, Joseph Mahar, he's out front. And he likes hearing me say that.
Joe's doing fantastic. It's going to be interesting to see what Joe's able to do as far as fuel. I don't know that he's going to be able to get there. It's going to be a tough sell for making me believe that he can maybe get to lap 80, but I find it hard to believe he's going to be able to make the pace lap after that if he does. So it'll be interesting to see.
If he can cross the start-finish line, turn that engine off, coast around, go to pit road, get an EOL, you're good. Start at the end of the longest line, work your way to the front, then work your strategy from there.
We've got a bunch that back there with Rogers and Swavely and McLean and Hurst all kind of bunched up there from 4th to 7th, all kind of under a blanket. They're just rolling around, but it looks like Swavely's keeping it up tight with Rogers for sure.
I do believe the 38 and the 51 are trying to drive their way to the front. 3 seconds, the difference between Mahar and Rogers. Holdcroft, there's somebody we need to talk about. Up 10 spots, the 31. He's just having a good drive. He's right there with the 76. He wants that second place before the rest of the field tries to catch up. But I think Ray Rogers' time's starting to fall off to the leader because that last time by, Joseph Mahar was almost faster than Ray Rogers. This time by, going to be a little slower, I think. 32.29 for Joseph Mahar. Ray Rogers this time by 32.04. Yeah, that time he was a little slower. But Holdcroft, he's holding on. He's right there behind Burchett, and he's got a line of he's got 3 of those 4 Toyotas running him down. But Ben Hurst, there is the number 70. He's only dropped back to 7th, knowing that there's a stage break coming up. I think taking second was a good way for positioning.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. As we look back here a little bit further in the back of the field, it looks like, just as a curiosity to me, it looks like the number 2 of Josh Peterson is currently the first car off the lead lap, so he would be in the lucky dog position right now. And I think the closest person to him, let's see here, Who's chasing him down for that lucky dog?
That'll be Phil Locke. He's about 5 seconds off of Josh Peterson right now. He's got the FU Cancer paint schemed on that Toyota Camry. Josh Peterson, he's comfortable. So that lucky dog position would be solidly his if he can make it all the way to pit road here. Dylan Hastings in on pit road on 71. He's on lap 72 at the moment. So he's a lap down as well. So he's naturally a lap down. That's going to be where that's at.
Yeah, I was just curious. I wanted to see where, before they started doing these pit cycles for the ones that have to do it, I wanted to see who was in the lucky dog, and if that changes when we get back around to, these ones that have to pit and the cycle that comes out for them.
Well, Josh Peterson's a lap down. That's one less lap he has to complete for the stage break. So that right there might actually work. If he was a lap short, he might be good to go now. Mahar 1.3 seconds over Burchett.
And he's put a lap car between he and Burchett, I believe, now too.
So that's going to change some things. Ray Rogers 1.8 seconds, and that's going to be where Holdcroft is. And there's the 74 lap traffic coming. 76, 31, 51. They're going to try to slow any kind of pace from the Toyotas. That's going to be all about where he's at. 51 still on that low line. And he looks like he's passing people like he's standing still. But realistically, 32.25. Same time as Joseph Mahar this last time by. So Mahar picking up some speed here.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that he's doing it without using any extra fuel, because we're at lap 77 now. It makes me think, if you're looking to pit before the stage, do you push it any further than this? If you do, you gotta assume that they're thinking they can make it.
Well, Mahar is going to make it 3 to go before the stage break here. Lap 78 underway, and he's got 33 in front of him.
So 76 went down pit road.
So Sturgill needing that fuel. Brad Fulham.
And the two also who was in the lucky dog went down pit road. So that's going to be interesting.
Well, that'll put Dylan Hastings as your Phil Locke as your lucky dog. Nick Gardner, take that back. Nick Gardner a lap down. Wesley Burchett on pit road. So that'll change a few things. Mahar's going to put a few drivers down. Rogers 1.5 seconds off of Mahar with 2 to go here in the stage. Come on, buddy, get out of the wall.
It sounded like Mahar hit the clutch, and I think that just adjusted the suspension on the car and how it rotated through that corner, and I think that was just a mistake that's going to end up costing my teammate there. It sounded like he got into the clutch just trying to save some fuel, and when you get on that clutch, your car functions differently in the corner when you're on that clutch.
Little right side damage, but he's got a half-second difference here. He just needs to hold on to it. 0.6 of a second closing. Does Rogers have enough to get to him? I don't know that he does. 85 disrupting the draft on the 51 behind him. 85 to the bottom.
85, I think, is out of fuel.
85 coming to pit road. 51. 85 needs to dive on pit road now before the flag comes out. Ray Rogers going to win stage 2. Mahar in on pit road. He made it.
Did he make it?
He made it on pit road just in time. He is out of fuel, so even so, he'll still end up. I mean, Ray, that was a good drive. He was putting it all the way to the limit. I think if he didn't hit the wall, I think he could have coasted around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was afraid that he may have enough to make it to 80, but he wasn't through 80, but I didn't think he was going to have enough to get around again. Kudos to Rogers and Swavely and those folks who were able to go ahead and stop in, hit that fuel, and get to the stage without having to come back in. Impressive strategy on their part.
I mean, I bet he's stinking out of fuel now. Bet he's way out of fuel. Oh man. Joseph Mahar, he comes back off pit road. He will be back on the lead lap here as he comes back around.
Yeah, and I think he just took a splash. I think he's planning on coming back in. I think he just took a splash to get back out on the track and run so that he could stay on the lead lap.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right. Got himself to pit road, was able to coast in, and it was a sputter. I know how that goes. 51, bringing the line to pit road.
So we've all got that friend where the gas light's been on 2 days, and like, I know my car, right? Leave me alone, I know my car.
I'd have been in the same situation. I probably would have done it. I would have come around, coast in as best you can. But he did a phenomenal job getting around, and he at least gets to stay on the lead lap here. And
absolutely incredible run. Yeah.
Mike Sturgill, he's coming around. He's going to be looking at things here now. If I was Mahar, I would take that extra 5 or. Ooh.
I'm not sure what's going on with Mahar.
Did he get enough fuel? Oh, I think he's waiting for somebody. He can't get the.
Oh.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he doesn't get the passing under yellow here.
So, I gotcha.
So he stopped before pit road. Kind of made me curious there what was going to happen.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened because I don't think there's an option to take less than 1.7 gallons in these vehicles. So there was no way he didn't take enough fuel to make it a lap around. But it seemed like something funny was going on there.
I think he needed to wait for Nick Gardner to get on pit road, so he didn't passing under yellow. Holdcroft, your new race leader.
And Daniel Holcroft's quietly had, I'll take the blame for that it's been quietly, has had a fantastic race so far, just kind of doing the exact stuff that Joe did last night, just running clean laps, hitting his marks, hitting his line, taking tires when it's time to take tires, and has done a great job doing it.
Ray Rogers back in on pit road. I know that he went in 17 seconds, so I think he got maybe a touch of damage fixed. I think he's coming in to get some more fuel here, and that's going to be what he's going to do. He's going to top it back off. He wants to run that lap or two longer. Holdcroft's going to be there, that's kind of the thing that you take the chance, knowing that he has the skill he's had the skill to drive through the field twice. Is the third time the charm where something happens? Because we're coming to the point where things are going to be a little bit more less patient, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think getting fuel here, topping off here at the end, I really believe that you want to do everything you can to make it a one pit stop race at this point. If you're going to assume it stays green, which we've had no indication that anything different is going to happen, you really want to turn this into a one pit stop race. And in order to do that, you're going to have here as we come to one to go.
Got to take chances, and when we go back to green, that'll put 38 laps, I believe, or 30. Well, let's see. It was a 5-lap run. They were 1 lap short, so that would still make it a splash and go situation. That'll put 35 laps, 36 laps for Rogers on his next pit stop. But if we get a caution here in the next 10 laps, that strategy's out.
That's true, yeah.
But we'll see.
I've just got a strong feeling if we get this restart underway and we get clean and lined up, I don't really foresee anything but green flag racing happening. Some incredible drivers out here that are doing a great job getting around the track clean and competitively. There's lots of room on this track. Once these tires come in, they seem to be able to kind of put the car where they want to. I really don't think we're going to see any cautions coming out tonight, Jason.
Now, the field's a little smaller tonight, too, and that does help out a few things. Bureau 5 laps down in 20th. Williams 2 laps down at 19th. So that will help things, too. So it'll help you help these drivers be able to get around. Holcroft's going to be there. He's going to be a race leader on the outside line. He's going to take the restart there. Swaley to the inside. The 97, 42, 85, 51. Rogers there in 6th. He didn't lose a lot of ground.
He did not, and he's probably very happy sitting back there where he's at. Knowing what he's capable of, he's got to be pretty confident sitting where he's at right now.
And they're back at it, though. Green again. Charlotte 240 underway. 80 laps to the finish. Actually, 75 laps to the finish as we get things rocking and rolling. Swavely utilizing that low line. He's going to have a Toyota behind him. The 42 trying to clear the 31. 97 is going to be there as well. Do you hold on for dear life, or do you just drive the track like you know how? Swavely just as fast as Rogers on the starts and restarts. So we will see what Clean Air will do for the 38 here.
And McLean has been super fast all night, and Sturgill as well, but they have both seemed to be a little bit looser than everybody else on fresh tires, but faster than everybody else on the freshest tires, but a little looser. And they say loose is fast. It'll be interesting to see what the 42 and the 97 are able to do here as we get going these first 3 or 4 laps.
2 Toyotas out front, followed by a Chevy, then a whole slew of drivers. Let's take a look on the left side of your screen. This is what your favorite drivers are driving at the moment. That kind of loads up slowly. Pretty slow. Holy goodness gravy, that was slow. Man, oh man. 2 Toyotas, 3 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, 3 Chevys. Let me guess, 2 Toyotas? Just a Toyota. I thought it was going to bounce back and forth. Man, oh man. All right, they're moving. They're grooving. Hastings back on the lead lap now. He's in 12th. He's up 10 spots. He's trying to move that car around. There's the Tire Pros number 8. Took a picture, threw it in there. I think he's still he's on the, I thought he was a little bit. He's about a third of the lap away from the race leader who's on the backstretch. Doing a pretty darn decent job. Here's the gap. Oh, best lap times for everybody. There it is on your screen. Ben Hurst, fastest lap of the race, 30.31. It's not about being the fastest on a single lap. It's about being the fastest over a consistent amount of time. 42 taps the wall there as they come around.
It looks to me like Chris McLean has been the fastest the last couple laps, as we kind of talked about. Not fastest of the race, but the fastest here the last couple laps has been Chris McLean. And like I said, he's been fast on these starts. He's a little loose, but he's been fast on the fresh tires.
As long as he can stick with it, follow the same line as the guy in front of him, get the lift points in the same. It's about being there at the end, and you know that Ray Rogers is going to try to be there at the end. 5 seconds, though, the difference, 4.5 seconds, sorry, between he and the 38. And I do believe Swavely's running faster laps than Ray Rogers at the moment.
He is
Well, not that time by, but it's the time before.
Rogers had fallen back a little bit. I'm not sure if he's just conserving. It's all long run at this point. We've got no more guaranteed cautions until we get to lap 160 for the checkered flag is the next time they know they're going to stop. So we've got to assume we're going to be anticipating a long run here, and Rogers definitely has the ability to play that game and save those tires.
Caution is going to come out. Tony Edrington involved. Here's the 32. 70 was right there to his inside. 32 up against the wall. Oh, he just couldn't turn left. Oh, he's stuck in the wall. Ow.
Oh, goodness.
Man.
I'll take the blame for that one. I said we were going to stay green too many times. That was my fault.
Yeah, you jinxed it. Don't do that. Here's what happened. Edrington there. Oh. And T.
When you've got a car to your inside on that tri-oval, I'm telling you, it is so much harder than you think it is to run that outside line when you've got a car inside you. Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Vernon,
it is hard.
Vernon, just having a Vernon here.
Yeah, he spun it out under pace laps there.
Oh, I think he was trying to lock it down. Oh, did he miss everybody? Oh, man, nice job from the 16. Ooh, Nilly. Swavely, Chris McLean on pit lane. The 97 Sturgill is going to stay out. Everybody else and on pit road this time by. Dylan Hastings, I think, is going to stay out as well, it looks like. So, Hastings, P2 at the moment. Who's going to be... Ooh. The world.
Yeah. Be an interesting decision for me there. I mean, obviously all the leaders came in, so I would probably do the same thing, but it'd be an interesting decision for me because I think at this point you can make it a one-stop race because of the caution. So I may have said, you know what, I'm going to stay out here and keep track position, but I understand all the other leaders come in, you want to do the same thing.
Phil Locke's going to be your lucky dog here. And lucky chance for him to come back into pit road. Haley, I am doing fantastic. You got wrapped up in a show. I'm glad that you still tuned back in. Thank you to everybody out there. Make sure you give it a like and follow. Excuse me, all of the platforms out there. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Thank you to Mega Leaf CBD. Yeah, no, all the fancy stuff. I hate to do it, Mr. Edrington, but I know you're sitting on pit road right now. Right? Guess what, buddy?
As we enjoy the special award for Mr. Edrington, we also want to give a shout out again to amazing folks at Omega Leaf CBD Oil for their support. Encourage everybody to go to their website, check them out, and check out all the scientific information and research they've done. Give you a lot of great info there. Also want to encourage people to check out the National Motorsport Simulation Association Facebook page. See what we got going on with the league, and absolutely check out the Signature Esports Live Facebook page. That's an opportunity for all of you out there to share what you're doing with Jason. He loves checking it out. He loves to support the people that support him. So get in there and check out Signature Esports Live. Share what you're doing. Check out what the other people that are following Jason are doing in there. Give everybody a like and a follow. You know, it's free to do. It helps everybody out. We build a community that way, and really appreciate Jason for putting together a forum where we can all come together and support each other.
That is the ultimate end-all to be-all, is to be a part of a community, and that's what Signature Esports about. Mike, you know who's in the lead. Your man's in the lead. Your little man. Your little guy.
Is Mike Sturgill Sr., is he still getting driven crazy by the pit strategy, or is he satisfied now?
I think it might work in his favor now. I think he's still going to have to come at about 35 laps to go, but I think he might be able to make it this time by, that's kind of how it goes. Fresh tires coming, all that stuff. 38 of Swavely took fuel. Anybody take tires on that pit stop? Wesley might have. Wesley took fuel. He might have gotten some damage fixed. It's Wesley Burchett. Ben Hurst took tires. Dylan Hastings came in. He took tires and got some damage fixed, I do believe. So he's going to be back there. A little more comfortable, says Mike. A little more comfortable. Oh, goodness gracious. Make sure you get out there and give us a follow on all the platforms. So we appreciate that. Join that Signature Esports Live Facebook group. If you are a fan of esports and you're just the better half of somebody who plays, then join the Signature Esports Better Halves Facebook group too. We encourage that. That's a place for the spouses to complain and do all the good stuff. But share all the arts and crafts. There's lots of things that they share out there. Kato's Glassworks shares some of the glass blowing videos that she does, and there's a whole bunch of things that we've got tacked up there. We try to create a community, and that's what this is all about. It's all a big community for everybody. But pace car dives off. 97, 38, 42, 85, 16, 31. That's your Powerball numbers as they go green here at Charlotte.
My buddy Joseph Mahar in the 4 spot's going to get lined up here. It looks like the 42 and the 38 are going to be side by side as they restart. Daniel Holcroft looks like he's dropping a little bit on that start, got a little bit slower go of it, but looks like Swaley's going to clear the 42 of McLean. Well, maybe not.
I think they're going to be side by side. That outside lane still faster. Whoa, 38 up into the wall just a little bit there. Got to clear at 42. A lot of right side damage here at Charlotte. That's just normal. 97 to Sturgill's going to utilize that low line run. Mahar's going to be there in 4th. Holdcroft in 5th. It's a good run for everybody so far. Mahar got that damage fixed on his right side, so he's looking smooth sailing. A little bit of flex seal and or flex tape, whatever you want to call it, but he's there to run and enjoy his drive. Rogers did not take tires in that last run. He only took fuel, but he's still right there in the mix. He's gonna be fast just like everybody else. Brad Fulham to 7th, Ray Rogers back to 8th. Hurst there behind Rogers at number 70. He did take tires. He skipped tires on the last pit stop. He took it this time. Go Wolf Team, says Edrington out there. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, that strategy played out really well for Hurst, holding off on tires this last time. Could have cost him if we had stayed green, but that quick caution really played to his advantage on that, choosing to wait on those tires. I think that's going to help take him to the front here.
Chris Waveley going to the outside, going to take over the lead from the 97. 97 not able to hold that low line the same way as the Toyotas. And so now the 38 and the 42, maybe it's just the Toyotas, man. Maybe that's just kind of what's going on there.
You don't see a lot of that in iRacing. It seems it's weird. It seems like there's more of that in open sets, and that might just be my imagination, but the fixed setups, I haven't really noticed a lot of that difference, but I know it's got to be there. I mean, it's obviously there in real life. There's certain cars that can do some things a little bit better at different tracks. So, maybe iRacing's got that figured out here.
$38, $42, $97. Setups are always different across the board. You can't go to VRS and even though I use VRS, you can't go to VRS and run a setup knowing that it's going to be made for the same cars. It's usually meant for the rest of the field.
Yep. It looks like we've got the front 3 are kind of pulling away. We got a little gap back to 4th, and then we got 4th, 5th, and 6th all kind of bunched up together as well. Then Fulham and Rogers kind of trying to close in behind them.
103 of 160. $38 of Swavely, half-second lead over McLean. Mahar 2 seconds back. Chevy's just not able to compete here.
The 70 of Hurst is making a move to the inside of Rogers now. Back here, they were running nose to tail, kind of closing in, taking some spots, but it looks like the 51 has moved up and now is giving way a little bit to a couple of drivers. We still have our top 3, Swavely, McLean, Sturgill, kind of checking out here on their own. We've got a gap for Swavely of about half a second, but then right behind McLean, who's in second, is MJ. Michael Sturgill Jr. is right behind McLean, just about a half second back of our leader.
Sturgill right there into the back bumper. I think he's figured a few things out here. Cold tire or cold track means high line running. My phone going berserk there for a moment. Apologies about that, folks. Had to get some silent messages going. 38, 42, 97.
I'm a little curious about our driver that's the last car on the lead lap right now. We saw Wesley Burchett absolutely dominate for the better half of that second stage, and till Mahar was able to take a spot from him later on in the stage. But Burchett has fallen off. I'm not sure if he ended up with some damage or what happened. I didn't see that happen.
He tapped the wall just a little bit on that last stage. He had a little bit of right side damage, but I just kind of makes me wonder, did he tap the wall in the right spot that said, hey, your radiator's messed up? Because those radiators, very right side of the front nose of these cars. Wesley Burchett driving the 76 33-year-old from Calhoun, Georgia. He's fallen off pace, 17 and a half seconds. That seems like, it doesn't seem like he's saving. He's clutched. I know, I can hear him clutch. Rich Swavely out front, 97 to Sturgill got around McLean there as the 42 picks up the pace. 70 of Hurst starting to move and groove. He got around. He's got those fresh tires. That's what you see there. Hastings in 5th. Seen Dylan Hastings much up in the top 10, but he's been running. Got Patience got his laps back, and the NMSA founder has a little bit of right rear damage on that Tire Pros number 8, but he's trying to track down to 70. Ray Rogers in 6th. He's got company in the form of Joseph Mahar.
Yeah, Rogers just put a move on Mahar, and it was for about a lap. It didn't look like Rogers was going to be able to pass him, and then all of a sudden it looked like Mahar was going backwards, and Rogers just drove right by him.
The 16 trying to put a back bumper to the 85 there. Has a lot of company in the form of that Toyota Supra of the 19 of Brad Fulham. 85 trying to use his line the way he wants to. 7th place right now. Gardner outside line. He's going to be real close to that wall. Midline run for the 85. 16 trying to make a run to the backstretch. That egg shape is what you're looking at right there. The 16 tries to go to the inside. He has to dive in and get out of that clutch, because if not, he's going to drift up the track just a little bit. He is. He's close to 85, making me nervous.
Yeah, the 16 has been with the league for a few weeks. He joined Clint Leatherwood's team with Wildcard Racing, and has shown himself to be an incredibly fast driver. Took the pole here tonight. A ton of talent. Solid road racer we saw last week as well. So, Mahar's into the wall, back into the wall, and close to the 19.
Oh, caution's going to come out. I think some net code happened there on the 16 and the 85. We'll go back and take a look here. The 16 drifted. Oh, yep. I think a little bit of crunch net code happened. So let us back up just a second, folks. Second caution for incident. And man, I think Barn Chase view right here. We will see what happened. The 85 was, hey now, come on, you're an all-star. Put your game on.
And there goes, so unfortunate for the 31, who has been having a fantastic run. Just bad luck there. Nothing he could do. Wrong time.
Yeah, 16 had a little bit of net code. It's that 3-foot net code zone. It said it was coming up, and it shoved the 85 over. Bam. And then 19 Fulham. Bam, little net code. Barely gets into the 85. 85 is going to come down, collect the 19 and the 31. And Bradley, man, 31 into the wall. Bradley goes around, misses, does a good job. 19 is going to need some new tires. And oh man, 94 making it clean there, it looks like. Maybe. Yep, 94 checked up. That is how that works, folks. Whew. Crazy. Nick Gardner and the net code. Net code, of course, being 2 dots on a blip that says this is how big your space is, and if it looks like you're going to hit somebody, we're going to say you're going to hit them. And it sends them up the track and off the wall, and dang old. Hurst up to 4th, says Sturgill. Yep. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you. Charles Williams out there. Thank you, Jason, for all that you do. I appreciate all that you guys do. You guys make me what I am, and I appreciate all of that. So thank you very much for doing what you do, and we'll see how this kind of.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Charles Williams there. That's my dad. Appreciate him supporting me in everything that I do. A proud son of his. He's a Vietnam veteran, served our country and serves his community as well. Helps the homeless and does a lot of things in his community there in Indiana. And he supports me in my iRacing ventures. Has always been supportive of everything I've done. I just want to thank him and tell him I appreciate him and appreciate all of the people who fight for our freedom in our country, all of our active duty and veterans. Want to give a shout out to all of them and say thank you.
I tell you what, Charles, you need to get a hold of me about anything you want to put up here for you for the causes that you fight for. Many appreciations to you as well as a fellow veteran. I know for a fact that you guys did not get enough credit for all the hard work you guys put in during that time of period. You know, I was like not even thought of whenever it happened, whenever that conflict came out. So many appreciations to you as well. My hats off to you. But you got a pretty cool kid here, man. All good stuff. Swavely, McLean, Hastings, Rogers up to fourth. Gardner's there. Sturgill, Lee, Moore, Fulham, Hurst. Some drivers going to pit road this last time by on 112. Gardner, Sturgill, Brad Lee. David Moore went to pit road. People got damage fixed. Brad Fulham for sure did. Some people got tires. Wesley Burchett got tires. He's back up to 11th. Phil Long. Joe Mahar was getting some stuff fixed coming back. He had such a great day going for him. And the dang old net code.
Yeah, poor Joe. He was so excited. He was looking forward yesterday. He was excited, trying to get a win. Said, "I just got to stay on the podium. I got to get in there and get interviewed." And of course, we had Discord issues yesterday and weren't able to get interviews done. And I told the guy, I said, "Well, just get in there tomorrow, and I'll be able to interview you too, and we'll make sure you get a shout out to everybody." Unfortunately, a little netcode kept that from happening. He's having some technology fight against him, I think.
Well, I tell you what, I had to re-download Discord. I had to uninstall it, re-download it, and I did it twice just so that way I was able to talk in Discord. Something was going on with Discord and their updates that they had here recently. I've been having issues with it for a couple of weeks. It just got really bad yesterday, and so I had to uninstall that program and reinstall it, and here I am. I'm back at it again.
Yeah, fantastic. Other news on the Discord front is thankfully the Microsoft deal fell through. So Microsoft had essentially bought Discord, but that fell through. So we're excited to hear that. Maybe Discord won't fall into the clutches of the evil empire that destroys everything technology related.
They get like $27 a month from me and all the boosts and stuff like that. They better use that money to help develop. You don't need Microsoft. Come on.
Man. Here we go.
115 complete. 116 beginning. 160. 38 there. 38 gets a good little loose jump there, but he did a phenomenal job holding on to it. Dylan Hastings in third. He's going to be there to the inside of the 42. Into turn one. It's already hot and heavy behind him.
Hastings with a great jump on that. Made the inside work on that first run, but it's a lot easier to hold that inside on the first lap 1 and 2 than it is when we get here to 3 and 4. So that's going to be a completely different thing as he holds up Sturgill, who had a huge run but had nowhere to go. Sturgill right behind the bumper of the 8 of Hastings.
Sturgill on fresh tires too, man. He's coming.
He's ready to go. And Hastings going to drop down and use that inside line again. Sturgill may end up having to find another way around.
Well, he's got Ray Rogers right there. Yeah, he's going to the outside. Hastings trying to protect third place. 42 trying to go to the outside of the 38. Ray Rogers, he's up in the mix again right there as well. So that's a situation that you don't want to. Oh man, somebody got well. That was the 16 of Nick Gardner up under the wall right there. Sturgill flying around drivers here. Inside line run for the 97.
Sturgill is passing people like they're standing still right now. MJ, Mike Sturgill Sr., I know, is excited to see that. Does a good-looking restart for the 97.
think he's trying to put enough time out in front of him right now that it won't matter when it comes to pit strategy. Gardner falling off pace now. The 70's there to his to his inside. 76 there too. A touch from the 16 to the 76 as they come around the front stretch. 70 moving and grooving. These guys trying to get around these. 76 to the back bumper of the 70. What a checkup from both drivers there.
It looked like the 76 hit the NOS button there for a second. He shot to the back of the 70 and had to get hard on the brakes, it looked like, and he is shot out of the cannon also. 76, we were concerned what was happening with him, but I think maybe he was just long running the tires to save a set, and he's looking fresh and clean on those tires now, looking just as fast as he was in stage 2 when he was leading this thing.
I tell you what, there's going to be a time, if this thing runs green, that they're going to have to come to pit road. And if you can put enough time between you and the people behind you, and you splash and go this thing at the end for 5 laps, 5 to 6 laps, then you should be quite enjoyable. 76 to the outside of the 51. 38 is going to be there in front of the 51 as well. Swavely, he's going to be back to third, but Burchett is moving. Sturgill out front, 112 laps on his tires. McLean using a highline run. How about a 3 wide on the exit? Can we do it? Nah, we're not going to do it, but that was close.
Yeah, the 76, when he was up front earlier, he was always running that middle high line, so he doesn't have any interest in that low line. He likes that middle line. That's where he's fastest. He's taking it down below that middle line to pass the 42 there, but he's definitely happy to run that middle high line as he moves into second place. See if he's going to have anything for the 97 here.
He's going to be the only driver inside the top 5 right now that's going to be able to hold on to it. And he's got a lap better on his fuel cycle than the 97. Ooh, thought I heard somebody blow an engine. Ooh, maybe I was wrong. Sounded like it, though. 3 seconds is the gap from first to second. Wesley Burchett coming around trying to catch the race leader. 2 Chevys out front. Chris McLean, first Toyota in the mix. He's about a second, almost a second off of Wesley Burchett, trying to use that high line. Rich Swavely, Ray Rogers, those guys moving. Ray Rogers is second slower on his times than the 97, but the 94 is, he's coming around. Look at the 94. He's like, I'm on fresh tires. Get out of my way.
Yeah, what a difference the four fresh Goodyears makes. Definitely.
Ben Hurst coming as well. There's another IJD Racing Toyota. They're trying to put enough time in between themselves and the guys in the Toyotas, because the Toyotas have pretty much swept the field here on the first 2 stages when it comes to being able to run the low line, being able to hold on to some traffic. 70 right there. He's on some fresh tires. Take that back. He is not on fresh tires. He's just on fresh fuel cycle. So he's going to be able to go a few laps longer than Ray Rogers and Rich Swavely. Roughly about 10 laps longer. Nick Gardner on the same cycle. Go ahead.
We are right at the window now. I think basically anybody that pits after this next lap and gets a full tank of fuel will be able to make green flag run to the end. We're about right at that borderline. So here after the next lap, anybody that comes into the pits and gets a full tank of fuel will have enough to make it to the end, even if we stay green.
11-second difference between the 9th place car and the 1st place car. But Brad Fulham can make it all the way to the end, or pretty close to it, if he continues to run his lines here the same way that he's doing. Joe Mahar, 13th place. Guy had an unfortunate set of circumstances, but still running. He's 16 seconds off the pace. But that is only because of the damage that he got. So 97, 3.5 seconds. Pretty close to it. That's the difference between he and Wesley Burchett. He just needs to continue to run his line. 34 laps now, 127 being completed. 34 laps to go here. I'm curious. No caution comes out. Where does the pit strategy come into play here?
Well, I mean, I think honestly it's one pit stop for everybody anyway if we stay green. So it doesn't, I mean, I guess it matters when you do it and whether or not you're taking tires. I'm assuming everybody's got a set of tires left.
I kind of wonder if Sturgill does have a set of tires. It wouldn't matter to me anyway if he pulls a big enough lead over the rest of the field right now and he comes to pit road. Everybody else is going to come to pit road for 15 seconds. So that's going to put them 47 seconds on pit road for their pit cycle. Sturgill needs to come to get a splash and go. So he's going to need, 3 to 5 seconds. That'll put him on pit road for 35 and a half seconds. That's a 10-second difference on pit road. And now that's a lot that has to be made up by the drivers behind him when it comes to his green flag pit cycle.
But we're seeing about almost a second fall off from new tires. So, if we've got 15 laps left, or better, or 20 laps left when that happens, it's still going to be a challenge. I think that Sturgill held off on tires early. I could be wrong. Maybe Mike Sturgill Sr. can give us some insight, but I believe that Junior has a set on the rack. I could be wrong, but I believe, and Sturgill just confirmed I'm right. He does have a set left. So, if he pushes it until he's out of fuel, the full fuel pit stop, is not what he's going to need. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't take that last set when he comes in the next time.
130 of 160. He'll be able to come to pit road here about 150. Let me do my math here. 147 is about the pit cycle that I would see him run. About 147 is probably the max that you're going to be able to see him run. 93 laps in for Ray Rogers, so you're looking at 137 for Rogers and company. He's 8.5 seconds. That's the fall off since the restart of this race when the caution came out. The restart of this race happened on lap 128. I'm sorry, not 128, 114 was the... Let's look at the caution. Where's the caution? 111. So 116 is when the restart happened. So there's 16 laps on this right here. He needs about 16 more laps out of the 16 to 18 more laps out of these tires. So if he comes in at 150, that would probably be the 10 lap to go. That would be the most I could see getting out of these tires.
We got a little bit of a battle back here in the 6th spot for Dylan Hastings, in the 8, the 16 Nick Gardner, the 1 of Phil Loft, the 19 of Brad. Whoa, we've got a wreck in that exact spot. Oh, goodness.
Caution's going to come out, so all of that strategy out the window now.
Yeah, everybody's coming in for 4 in fuel at this point. They're just going to fill the tank, take 4 tires.
The 1 and the 16 battle. That was Nick Gardner right there. The 1 and the 16. 16 going backwards. Here's what happened here. Hastings off pace, gets a little bit loose. They split the field here. There's Nick Gardner to the inside. He's there to the inside of the 8. I think the 8, I don't know what happened there. 16 comes up. 1 was there. Didn't hear it. Didn't see it. Brad Fulham. 74, Chris Johnson goes around. That was good. A good save on that driver. And 9 of Brad Lee missing that contact. And oh man.
The 19 and the 74 were moving.
Yeah,
when they came up to that pack that was racing for 6 there. And I'm not sure what happened with Hastings. He kind of dropped out of the middle there when those other cars were coming up closing. And I do not know how the 74 got through there. I'm sure the 74 is putting that one on the highlight reel.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Hastings coming to pit road. He drops in right there. The 97 of Sturgill will lead these guys down. And I would assume that everybody's coming to pit road. So after a smart pit strategy there, Sturgill, if it had stayed green, that was the winning strategy. I think there was just too much time to be made up. There was a 9-second difference between Sturgill and Ray Rogers in that group for that to even matter. And Dylan Hastings coming off pit road. Phil Locke's going to be your race leader here. As he comes around. I think Phil was your lucky dog?
Not. He was on the lead lap, so he couldn't have been the lucky dog.
He's a modified.
Yeah. I will say this: it's the strategy is always fun for me. I look at that stuff and I talk about it, but I also enjoy situations like this. We've got everybody with 4 fresh tires, everybody with full fuel. We're going to have 23 laps of hopefully green flag racing, and the best driver is going to get to win this race, regardless of strategy and all of that stuff. It's going to be who can wheel it the best, and that's who's going to get to take the checkered flag. And that's just as exciting to me.
Phil Locke was the lucky dog. He was a lap down. Now he's back on the lead lap. So I don't know why it scored him as the lucky dog. He should, if he was involved in a caution. I don't know. I don't understand iRacing anymore. I don't pretend. Like, I get the programming. I get what we do here. But I tell you what. It's crazy. Mike Sturgill's going to be your race leader. He's going to have Hurst, Burchett, Rogers, Lee, Fulham, Mahar, Swavely, Locke, Moore. That's going to be the... There's Moore. How about Moore being the lucky dog? I thought he was the lucky. He should have been the... David Moore should have been the lucky dog. Right now, he's still... He's got to be the... By the way that my relative looks, iRacing needs to quit.
I think that the 16, 28, 42, and 8 are all looking for... Thought they were going to be getting waiver rounds, but that's not going to be the case because they pitted. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't either. 28, Phil Locke on the lead lap. Gardner, McLean, Hastings on the lead lap.
But he said Hastings is sitting right in front of the leader.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
No. It looks like a lineup that's about to have waiver rounds, but they all pitted, so they can't get waiver rounds.
Unless they came off pit road before the race leader. That can happen.
I guess that could be,
It's the only thing that makes sense on me. All right, folks, we're not professionals here. We just try to...
I just make this stuff up as I go.
I was taught from education in the public society.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Mike Sturgill Sr. was not a huge fan of that last caution.
Yeah, probably not. So that's what he said. He says, "Grr."
Yeah, there's a little bit of a growl there as we see cars getting the wave around here. So that is what was going on. Those cars all beat the leader out of the road. So these cars that are taking a wave around here could not have taken tires on that last stop.
So if they came to pit road with the race leaders, that would have put them in an EOL situation because they pitted on the wrong side. They pitted on the wrong. They pitted on the wrong cycle. So I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm confused. That's what I don't understand. Anyway, they're getting the wave around. Mike Sturgill's going to be your race leader. Lights are off on the pace car. There's 24 laps to go, and it's a whole different race.
Yeah, and we were concerned about Wesley Burchett before, and look at him sitting there in 3rd place, right back up there. Ray Rogers sitting in 4th. We've got teammates of Mike Sturgill and Ben Horst, out here in front looking to lead this thing off. And I would not be surprised to see the 97, 70, and 76 pull away here and gap the field. I just don't know if everything is working the way Ray Rogers had it working earlier in the race with the lower temps.
I think that this is Ray Rogers' race to lose. 97 does get a good jump here as the green flag waves again. It's a level playing field now. Ray Rogers on a level playing field. We'll figure it out. I think this is Ray Rogers' race to lose if it goes the right direction.
Well, we're definitely going to find that out pretty soon as Sturgill and Horst are pulling away like I expected. I kind of thought the 76 would stay up there with them, but we're going to see if that happens. Rogers using, he got a little bit across that line, which slowed him up. You got to be on that line, but you go under it, and the line, like I always say, that line is undefeated.
It definitely is. The 19 of Brad Fulham getting to the back bumper now. Like I said, barring anything that could happen, like getting loose or like going below the white line, it would be Ray Rogers' race to lose. 97 out front, though. Chevy's fast early on, consistently, not as much. But these cold temperatures, I talked about the high line earlier. That high line is the right line. when it comes to nighttime racing. We see it at Charlotte, we see it at Kansas, we see it at Texas. These mile-and-a-half tracks, that high line becomes a big factor. And Ray Rogers, I think, I don't know if he ate up his tires early, but he's trying to hug that line to gain that speed back. 4 laps in, a second and a half back off of the 76. Brad Fulham and his Toyota. I mean, we're talking 3 Chevys and like 6 Toyotas behind him. I mean, 4th through 10th, they're all Toyotas.
Yeah, and I just don't know. You know, I kind of felt like we would see these 3 cars pull away. Now Rogers is going to try and keep that from happening, but we're looking at a gap there already.
Rich Swavely to the inside of the 9 of Brad Lee, and Brad Lee pulls around Rich Swavely. Now Rich Swavely goes around David Moore. That's who I was looking at right there. So that kind of is the line that you see right there. Swavely just as fast. We can't count out Rich Swavely either. Rogers, Swavely, I think that Chris McLean's got a shot here. With 19 laps to go, there's still a lot of driving.
I'm just glad to see Swavely still out there on the track after his internet issues last week. Just about knocked me out of my spot here in the booth on Wednesdays, the way he did such a great job. I'm excited to see Richard still out there driving and entertaining us like he does. He's always so professional and such a great driver out there. Carried that over into the booth, didn't surprise me at all. Great insight from Richard last week.
Here's a look at that inside line. Here's turn 1. When I talk about the tires getting to the line, he comes up, he drifts in just a little bit. He's utilizing that line to turn that car. He didn't get quite there that time by, but we'll see how he does it this time by. Rogers starting to pull within the relative of the race leaders here as things start to progress in. Right there to the line, he uses that line to turn that car. He is full throttle out of the turn.
It's an absolute requirement in 3 and 4. You can be a half car length off it on 1 and 2 and still hold it, but it's an absolute requirement to get to that line, to hold that low line in 3 and 4. If you're off it by a tire width, you're going to the wall.
And right there, the 97 trying to do the same thing. He gets it. He gets that turn around. A nice little run right there. But Ray Rogers, I talked about him coming. There he is. 1.1 seconds between he and the race leader. He's behind Wesley Burchett. Now, I say that it was his race to lose, but there's fast drivers in front of him. He's going to have to get around these drivers who are going to defend. You know it's going to happen. How do you make these guys make a mistake? And Ray Rogers right there trying to close the relative to Mike Sturgill. Ben Hurst right behind him. The IJD Racing drivers, 1-2. Burchett in the 76. Ray Rogers to the inside. He's going to make that stick. 76 highline run. 51. 15 laps to go. Trying to close the distance here.
I know Wesley Burchett's frustrated as his tires are kind of starting to give on him a little bit as they're, getting a dozen laps into this tire run. But he's done a fantastic job tonight, fighting, staying up there in the top 5. Super impressed with his run so far. I'll tell you, like you said, the top 3, an average I rating in the top 3 of 5,000. So. No shame in being 4th behind this pack of 3 right here.
Yeah, 46.63 for Sturgill, 56.75 for Hurst, 42.09 for the 51 of Ray Rogers. All these guys very classy. They're used to driving in the more tougher splits. Hurst and Rogers are going to battle it out here in just a second. 70 going to be holding on to that P2 position. 13 laps to go here. And if you thought the race was over, it's not yet. I say the 70 and the 97 need to make the 51 drive around to the outside. I think that is the only way that they keep him honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to keep him from taking that inside line if he gets up there to it, just because I'm not sure that the 70 has found comfort in that inside line yet. It looks like they're there in 1 and 2, but I'm not sure that the 97 and the 70 are comfortable with that inside line in 3 and 4 like Ray Rogers is.
I think the 70 picking up that speed with the 51 running the same line is going to be there with the 97. as we see that the 51 keep that line, the 70 right there with his teammates. 1, 2, and 3. These guys are battling. Sturgill, I mean, looking over his line, he's got to carry a high in line. Comes down, carries the speed. 51's going to run a little higher line this time by 97. Might slightly pull away here, but the 51, I think, is trying to set up the 70 to go inside at 97, 70. Maybe the 51's trying to figure out that high line. Maybe try to take it in just a little bit. He's going to get to the back bumper, try to cross over. 70's going to be there. 51 will go to the high line if he needs to. Crossover, here it is. Ah, there it is, 70. And you know that's just, it's almost frustrating. But he's going to get to the high line of the 70. He's going to take that line away. And you kind of knew that was coming.
Yep, and here's the thing, though. Rogers is not as comfortable out here on the outside, so can the 70 make him hold that outside line for an extra lap is what's going to be interesting, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to as Rogers gets him clear here in the tri-oval.
Does force him to the high line. 70's going to be to the back bumper of the 51. Rogers trying to take the lead away. He wants to win this race. 97 hooks that bottom line and carries good speed on the backstretch.
You're going to see, though, like I said, in 3 and 4, the 97 can get down there to that inside line, but his drive off is not as good as Rogers. He can run that inside line, but he's not as good at it as Rogers. Where if they're both running the outside line, the 97's faster. But here goes Rogers. He's going to try and take it away on this lap. He gets into the grass a little bit.
Grass only helps. How about a crossover move? Not quite there. 97's going to carry speed on the backstretch. He's going to be there at the back bumper. 51's going to take the inside line. Ray Rogers, your race leader, as they've got 8 laps to go here. 97 needs to pull the air off of that 51. Somebody's got to do something. If not, Ray Rogers is going to step away. We talked about him being faster on the long run, and there he is. Ray Rogers out front.
Incredible as they come up on lap traffic. That puts all 3 of them up to the high line as they come up here on the lap car. And the lap car ducks down under the apron there to give room as Phil Locke stepping out of the way of the leaders here.
Sturgill.
70 looks like he's going to make a move here on Sturgill.
I think the teammates battling is only going to help Ray Rogers here. Step out, whoever's faster, run it. Whoever's better, I know that you're teammates, but somebody make it clean, make it clear. 70's going to be there. Last time by, Rogers a 10th better than the rest of the field.
Okay, Jason, I'm going to go ahead and say you were right. Barring anything unforeseen happening, Rogers it's his race to lose.
I
give you credit.
A level playing field. That's the way I looked at Charlotte here, just the laps that he ran and how he ran through each stage and how his tire fall off was, the way he lifts into the corners. He's got the perfect line at Charlotte. And he utilizes that bottom line the way that you're supposed to. He is driving this like you would drive a truck at Charlotte. He's driving the same line. He is running it and wheeling in it high to low out of the gas with the tires on the line, hook it around just like that. Make it 4 to go with an almost full second lead over the field.
And the 42 of Chris McLean is trying to make a pass on the 76 to take 4th place away from Burchett. The 42's to the inside. Looks like he took 4th place on that lap and may be able to clear the 76 if he can hold the speed on the inside line on this turn. It looks like he's going to. So Burchett's going to drop another spot down to 5th place. And that puts him in the crosshairs of Rich Schwavely as the 42 moves, Chris McLean moves into 4th.
2 Chevys inside the top 5. I say 3 Chevys inside the top 5. But Rich Schwavely, he is trying to track down the 76 in front of him. Ray Rogers, the guy that I called Mr. Charlotte. Here he is. Just seems to be his track. 31.87 last time by. 32s for everybody else.
Incredible run for Ray Rogers. He tricked me a little bit as he was running a little bit slower times back there in the middle stages of the race. He was just playing a little cat and mouse with the announcer up here in the booth, letting me have a false sense of insecurity about his skill level. But he is checked out and looking good to bring home the checkered flag in this amazing race that we've had here with the National Motorsport Simulation Association Cars Ultimate Racing Championship. They, the drivers in this series have been fantastic to watch.
Ray Rogers takes the white flag, 4 more turns with a 2.5 lead, 70 and 97 battling at each other out. Rich Swavely trying to pull a little position away from Wesley Burchett, it looks like, here for 5th. There's still a few more turns of that, but 2 more turns. Hurst and Sturgill drivers battling back and forth. Ray Rogers, turn 4, trial flagman. Rogers wins it here. Sweeps the stages, sweeps the race, drives himself to the front, and side-by-side battle for teammates. 97 wins off that. That's pretty good.
Sturgill takes that, then Richard Swavely gets the pass right at the last second over Wesley Burchett. Swavely gets himself a top 5 finish.
David Moore, Dylan Hastings, top 10s for everybody. Everybody else coming back around. Joseph Mahar, first car 1 lap down after being fast. If it was... Tell you what, like I said, if the race had played out green the rest of the way, we'd be looking at the 97 or the 70 winning this race. But level playing field puts Ray Rogers up front.
Incredible race by all these drivers. Super impressed. I want to give another shout out to the 31, Daniel Holdcroft. Ran an incredible race. Was doing so great. Super proud of the race that he was running there in the 31, and just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Got caught up. Finished his day. Great run from Wesley Burchett today. Dropped back to 6th, but still had a solid showing all the way through.
Ray just finally blew his engine. All righty, folks. All right, we got to do the segment. We always got to do it because it's absolutely amazing. Stand by for takeoff.
Congratulations to the winner from Pub Table Racers. My name is Warren Brissell. I've been in NASCAR for 20 plus years. Sitting next to me is...
My name's Tim Packman. I'm involved in the short track industry and NASCAR for about 30 years. And we have a Facebook Live show every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We're also on YouTube, Twitter. We have a website, pubtableracers.com, and we invite you to come check all that out.
Apple Podcasts also.
Yep, we have all that too. And Warren, what's it like to be involved with this league?
We're very proud to be involved with this league. Congratulations again.
And congratulations to the winner as you pull into Pub Table Racers Victory Lane.
Cheers.
Pub Table Racers Victory Lane sees the 49-year-old from Jacksonville, Florida, Ray Rogers in the podium. Toyota, I called you Mr. Charlotte, buddy. You, my friend, drove one heck of a race.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun out there, man. I love Charlotte, but I just knew it was going to come down the tire wear, man.
On the note of the caution comes out, perfect timing, level playing field, you were faster. It seemed like the 97 and the 70 had a different strategy there prior to that caution coming out, and it seemed like that they were going to, it seemingly, by the way things worked out, that if that caution didn't come out to level the playing field, they might have, by math, and we never know what's going to happen, but by math, it seemed like they would have, the roles would have been reversed. You would have been probably a top 3. Caution comes out, level playing field again. You sweep the stages. You drove the BALLs off of that thing, man, and it was absolutely incredible. Hooking the line is important, and that's what talk us on how you drove that low line where everybody else couldn't.
It's just letting off early and letting the car settle. You have to wait for it. Hard to do. But you have to wait on it for the nose to set. Once it sets, you can pretty much drive it off flat-footed. But yeah, before that caution, Sturgill, he probably had it. He was gone. I knew he had 2 extra sets of tires in his pit, so I knew that he took tires there and he would he would set sail. But I just telling my teammates, I was like, we need a caution, and then we got one.
Yeah, you got one, and it was a big one. It leveled the field, and man, oh man, you really drove away with it. Mr. Williams, anything for Mr. Rogers here?
Ray, it's George up here in the booth tonight. You put on a show. I think it was probably about lap 6 the first time I called your name and said, "Oh my goodness, Ray Rogers is passing people on the inside on 3 and 4 like they're standing still." Jason can confirm that, I'm sure, but there was something about your exit on 3 and 4. Even the other people that were able to make the low line fast in 3 and 4 didn't have the exit that you had. It was clearly visible when we were showing you that drive off. Was amazing, man. I'm just really impressed. Want to know if you have any secrets beyond just lifting early and letting it roll in and to getting that drive off in 3 and 4.
Well, I mean, if you run the high groove and you're running up against the wall, you're sooner or later it's going to eat the right front up. I knew that, and I knew if those guys stayed up there, they're going to have to back off. They're going to hit the wall if they don't. And or come close to it. So I knew that my strategy was always the bottom. It's always the bottom, because that's just the best way around Charlotte. You save tires, and might not have looked like I was super fast. I mean, it might have looked like I was, but it was just because they had to back off and I didn't.
Yeah,
consistent.
You're definitely
line.
fast.
Yeah, consistent. We always talk about, you don't have to be the fastest. You may be the fastest lap out there, but at the same time, if you're the consistent line and you're the consistent driver, you drove the same line. Your lifting points may have been different over older tires, but you drove the same line every lap, and that led for an even fall off, a tenth over 5 laps. Basically, is what I saw.
And the bottom line was prove around the track. It was. I mean, you were fast up top. We did some practicing, and you can there for maybe 10 laps. You are fast up there, but sooner or later your tires are going to fall off the speed right front up, and you're going to have to lift or you back the wall. So yeah, I had to back up my entries on the bottom a little bit. Tires started wearing, but still I had the better drive off, and that's how I made it.
Definitely a BA job of getting around the track, man. Ray, you're Mr. Charlotte for me. That's who you're going to be from now on. I'm just saying. That's my nickname for you. Ray, congratulations on the win here, and I want to make sure you give shout-outs out there to you and all your teammates.
Yeah, I want to shout out to the teammates. We really worked hard to here and put on the show, and I think we did. I think we all finished top 10. Congrats to those guys, and appreciate what you guys do.
Absolutely. Ray's the man today. I don't get to talk to you very often, and when I do get to talk to you, it's usually in this situation where you win.
I mean, I messed up my last race at Dover.
Yeah.
And it ruined my race. But it's always a joy to talk to you guys.
Absolutely. Ray, congratulations, my friend. Ray Rogers, your race winner here, doing a phenomenal job. I meant to put him back in where he is. A good little drive off. But right there in the long run, Sturgill was the guy to beat on early on. And the pit strategy, if the caution didn't come out, like I said, Sturgill, I think you would have been MJ. You would have been the winner here. 97 comes in second to the 28-year-old from Cincinnati, Ohio. I know that your dad was watching. He was all like, ah. So walk us through the latter part of that race, my man.
Yeah, I don't know. It really sucks to have a 4+ second gap to second, and caution comes out. Caution came out right at the worst time too. Had it come out like 5 to 10 laps later, when everyone had put some wear on their tires, when we had that set left, we would have been fine. But it came out and put everyone on the same set. I don't know what Ray was doing, honestly. I didn't think he had that kind of speed. I don't know how he was driving it either. I was trying all kinds of different things because I saw him reeling me in. So I started trying to back the corner up more. I started trying to drive it in deeper. And it seemed like nothing kept him at bay. And then he went around Ben on the top. So when he got to me, I went up top to try to take the lane away. And he walked away from me on the bottom. So I don't know.
Yeah,
pretty wild.
We watched Ray drive around this track all race long, and the consistent line on the bottom. You guys were fast on the top, and he talked about how the top line eats away your right front pretty bad after about 10 laps. He's like, I was driving around the bottom. That's where I wanted to be. So that's how we did it. And he same concept that you guys were doing, but you guys were still fast. I mean, nothing sweating that you were able to at least defend second and third here and still take home podium finishes for you and your team.
Yeah, it's definitely good finishes for the team. I just, man, if that caution doesn't come out,
Yeah,
I thought I had it pretty much locked up.
I said the same thing. I did. George, anything from MJ here, man?
Hey, Michael, congratulations on the second place finish. Thank you for putting on a great show. Yeah, I was talking to Jason all race long saying, I do not know how Ray Rogers is getting the drive off of 3 and 4 in that low line like he is. It was otherworldly, and he looked slow going in, and I guess that was the key. He was really slow in. He was rolling for a long time, but he was flying like he was shot out of a cannon on that low line. And I told Jason when we got that last restart, I said, no, the 97 to 70 are going to drive away. And he said, no, I think Ray Rogers is going to be able to catch him. I said, I don't think so. Well, unfortunately for you and I both, Jason was right, but it's still a great run for you all. And it was fun to watch you and Ben battle there at the end to see who was going to take home P2 and P3.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to put on some form of entertainment for everyone watching. And yeah, I thought for a while there Ben was going to get around me too, and then we just kept battling back and forth, and I ended up winning that battle. So that was cool.
Chevys were tough to drive today, I think, for the most part. I mean, most of the Toyotas that seemed to walk their way to the front, and you guys still held your own and had a good strategy. And like I said, you'd have had this race if that caution didn't come out, and that was the best strategy that you could have at that moment. And next thing you know, level playing field. Rogers wasn't as fast as you guys in the first 3 to 5 laps, but he kept running that same basic line. And I broke it down in the stream. You have to go back and watch how he hugs that corner, how he pulled that corner in, and it was insane to watch. But at the same time, it was insane to watch you guys be able to take that line, that high line, that mid high line, and be able to drive as fast as you guys were and be able to full throttle it around 3 and 4 for several. I mean, we're talking more than 10 laps of what I watched you guys do.
Yeah, we both had a lot of practice on the top because the other night in qualifying that seemed to be the fastest, so kind of focused on that, and looks like it kind of bit us a little bit. We should have focused on the bottom equally.
Early on, I think I would assume on the warmer temperatures that the low line would eat your tires faster. Colder temperatures, high line works faster. That's usually in everything racing that makes sense. That right there is going to be how you run it. Warmer temperatures run bottom, colder temperatures run top. That's usually how it works. But iRacing fools us quite often.
Yeah, they definitely do.
All right, my man. Well, give your shout outs out there, and congratulations nonetheless. Still a good day for you, and points in for your team.
Thank you. Like to shout out Tune Time Customs for being on the car and let me drive this thing for them. Shout out to McDuffie, our owner, and all my teammates, Chris, Ben, and Brad. And a shout out to Bell. He always comes in and kind of takes care of the crew chief and part of things. Shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. You always do a great job. And shout out to all the viewers, including my pops, for watching this thing play out.
He's got the patience of a horse, even though he gets even though he probably it probably sounds just like that. Whatever. What in the world, you know?
Right.
That's how I'm good. I have a mute button that I have right here. Whenever I want to say something, I'm like, no, and yeah.
Right.
Congratulations, my man, and we'll move on to next week, and we'll see what happens then.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Mr. Sturgill wins second place here and earns it. He does earn every bit of that, and nothing bar a good situation for everybody. Teammate to him, IJD Racing, the number 70 of Ben Hurst right there. A little My little Fred. Here you go. You want to see my little Fred the Flagman background? Here, where's it at? Where's it at? I think it just popped up there. Hold on. It was there. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, well, I was going to show everybody my Fred the Flagman background. Anyway, Mr. Hurst, tell me about your day. I know that you were battling there with the 97 there at the end. Your teammate, you guys ran the high line. Rogers, we know, used the low line, pulled himself back and forth a couple of times. But you guys seemingly had it figured out using that midline early into the final stage there, where you guys were able to get yourself in and off pit road fast and able to find yourself in a good situation on restarts.
Yeah, it was I liked that line a lot early, so we could try and maybe get a little bit of room on Ray there, but you know, he didn't have anybody really pressing him from behind, and I had another car kind of pushing really hard into the corners, so I really didn't want to have to pass another car back and then worry about Ray. So I was kind of overdriving it, and I killed my tires a little bit on exit. So I mean, kudos to Ray. It was a great win for him. He had an excellent race, and kudos to Mike. Mike ran a really good race as well. It sucks to see that lead dwindle when that last caution come out. I think he had a 4-second lead, but
8 seconds to 8.5 seconds to
it was
Rogers.
8 seconds.
Yeah,
man,
8.5 seconds to Rogers. He was in fourth, and it was a 4.5 second lead to second. So that was. I know it's tough, but when the cautions come at the wrong moment, you go and and I tell you what, he did everything he could to. You both did everything that you could to hold off the low line run from Rogers, but it was still a good. I considered it a good race and a good finish right there.
Oh yeah, it was a fun race. It was fun watching him get into the corners, because I had learned a lot on how to handle Charlotte towards the end of the race because of what he was doing. So I mean, I'm thankful for that, because now it's going to make me faster.
Especially at night, you'll be able to see. You'll definitely be able to see how that low line. If you can get that left front tire to hook that bottom line, you will be fast on exit, and let the car be turned in, lift it going high, down low, let that tire hook, and you will be absolutely screaming fast.
Yeah, and he was just getting really good exits. So I mean, it was a fun track. It was a fun race. A lot of cautions that I didn't really expect to see come out, but overall, I mean, we're happy with 2-3, and then I think Chris and Brad got a little unlucky there. They got trapped in a pace car, but Mike and I will take it at the end of the day, and we have to learn from this so we can finish 1-2 in the future instead of 2-3.
For sure, man. For sure. All right, my man. Rest of your shout outs. Oh, actually, George, anything for the guy? I know that you like to chat it up with our friends here.
Hey, Vince, George Williams here in the booth with you. It was great to watch you tonight. A lot of fun. Just really enjoyed there at the end when you and Michael were trying to battle it out there after Ray had kind of checked out. It was fun to watch you all kind of battle. I switched off of Ray and went to start watching you guys. I think Mike thought you were going to get him, but I think I got my answer already. You felt like when Wesley was pushing you on that restart, he was driving in a little deeper, which made you have to change your line a little bit. Do you feel like if you had a little bit more tire left, you might have been able to take your teammate there for P2?
Yeah, I think that I was trying to decide whether I needed to play defensive there or if I needed to push. I ended up kind of trying to play a little more defensive, so I was kind of trying to change my lineup and keep whoever's in the orange car. I didn't get to look yet, but keep him behind me, because I knew Ray. I was going to have to worry about Ray anyways, because he was fast. He was fast the whole race, so I was just hoping that I could save enough tire and push to get past Michael at the end. And hopefully hold Ray off, but I ate him up a little too early, and this is the result. But you have to learn from that and move forward with it. And I really appreciate everybody at IGD and McDuffie and Chris for sponsoring us, putting us on, and making this happen for Sturgill and I. We really appreciate it.
Definitely a good race, man. Congratulations, P3 finish. Still a good team day for you two. And,
Yeah,
and it'll turn out a learning experience on Charlotte for upcoming races. I know that you guys have another mile and a half coming here pretty soon, so it'll be definitely a good race for everybody to watch.
Yeah, it'll help me forget the pain of Dega. It's
my I rating has taken a 600-point hit because of Dega this week, and
I'm about to take a hit right here in this next one, so we'll see. It was a fun race, and it's good talking with you guys as always, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Ben Hurst, the number 70, comes home third and has a phenomenal day. Congratulations to all the drivers. Make sure that you go check out Pub Table Racers on Facebook. Go to pubtableracers.com. Find them on all your podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. They've got some funny videos out there. They've got some good things that happen. It does happen on Thursdays at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern, maybe 8 p.m. Eastern. I might be wrong on my time there, but it's about the same time that I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern. I think I'm right because it's about an hour before Signature NASCAR Truck Series. So those guys out there, phenomenal little broadcast. Go check them out before you check out our race tomorrow on the Signature NASCAR Truck Series. The F It Let's Have a Beer or the Phil Hab crew and the That Beer Chick with Joe and all of those fine individuals over there. They are absolutely an amazing Edmonton. They've helped me grow my platform in the Truck Series, and they're absolutely wonderful. So much appreciated. Thank you to the National Motorsport Simulation Association. Thank you to my co-commentator on Wednesday nights. That's Mr. George. How you doing, right?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Jason. I hope you have a blessed rest of your week, man. I appreciate all the viewers. Make sure you hit that like and follow button on all the platforms. Doesn't cost anything. Hit YouTube, hit Twitch, do all that stuff, and make sure you get those numbers up for our fantastic broadcaster here at Signature Esports.
Definitely always use. All you need really is 3 minutes of your day to sit here and help this platform grow. That's it. All of your time. And whether it's the beginning 3 minutes or the last 3 minutes, we hope that you tune in. But I hope you tune in for the whole thing, because that right there is just awesome. We love you. We appreciate you. Rogers wins it here at Charlotte for the National Motorsport Simulation Association in the Championship Auto Racing Series. Back at it next week, and we're going to have a lot of fun. If I don't see you here in just a little bit when I do my fantastic little broadcast, a little Phasmophobia fun, if I don't see you, we'll have a good afternoon, good evening, and a good morning. They need the white flag. What's going to happen? It's about to get interesting.